Is Jesus crucified?
Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I think it's dangerous when you can take a religious, cultural doctrine and then put your own interpretations and and interject your own measure on it and say that this is what it means. This is what it's really saying. When the book don't say it's saying that. You see what I'm saying? And this is the reason why I say that anthropomorphic gods are dangerous because whoever controls the book, whoever controls the doctrine, controls God and controls your relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? According to the doctrine and the narrative of that system. You see what I'm saying? So it's like once you start going down this rabbit hole, you got to continue. So at this point, you got to ask yourself, okay, who is who's making these commentate these who's the commentator? Who gives the commentator the authority to change the meaning and definition of the words? You see what I'm saying? To me, it come down to things like that.
Who's speaking again?
This Laurel.
All right, brother Laurel. Yeah, I agree too. The man in the high castle. First and foremost, a lot of people would be like, "Oh, I'm this or that," which is not important. I'm a Christian. However, never take it for granted that I'm not aware of a lot of the silly stuff and a lot of the extra biblical lore and the extra mythology. I'm well rounded. Yet I will entertain what I've heard on this program right now, but I do agree as a Christian, who is this guy Morg? And from what I understand, this is someone who plays around with body modification. He appears androgynous. Is this your leader? For real, you know? So I couldn't take him with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I didn't even want to cap off his person, but he do look like a play Diddy.
Yeah,
like he from Andromeda or something.
Yeah, you know, is this a money-making grift? How serious are you, sir? You know what I mean? But I can understand today, people are sick and tired of certain authority. And mental health is winning. And I'm not saying people who are automatically so-called classified mentally ill. I'm saying a lot of people who are mentally ill are misdiagnosed and they're highly intelligent and they are functional too. But I do see a lot of this playing into the people who are mental health and they gravitate to this information even more so.
What I'm trying to figure out is this. Is these stories, the whole narrative, is it meant for everyone? And if it's meant for everyone, why does there have to be so many things that are hidden, so many double meanings, hidden meanings? If it's meant to reach everybody, then it should be as easy as looking at a glass of water. You see what the glass of water is. You shouldn't have to make something else out of what it is.
Can I give you my opinion on this? What I think it is, Scam Cham? I think that these hidden books, right, that they were known to like the Masonic people and these like higher ups and all these things or whatever. I believe that they hid these things and these people were reading this stuff and because the internet came out, now more people are able to get into reading this stuff and finding out what the truth is. But I think that these like all your little secret little societies and all this stuff about the they were reading this stuff, so they knew this stuff. They because how can you have a Council of Nicene make a book and pick these books, say this is the book we'll teach everybody else, but all these other books we're going to leave it out, and then we're going to teach ourselves this thing so we can have an edge up on everybody. But in reality,
I'll hop back on later.
Well, it's real simple, right? It's called the consolidation of power. That's the reason why they love certain books out. Because certain books promote free liberty and you doing things on your own and taking initiative on your own to do things, whereas they want you dependent. That's the reason why you dependent on waiting on God, waiting on Jesus, waiting on Messiahs. The religion makes you dependent on the hierarchy, the people that come above you. And again, who's to say who is right or wrong? You see what I'm saying? And when you got on, when you on that type of slippery slope, it's like, okay, at this point, it's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be simple enough for a child to understand it. And when it becomes complicated, that's how you know it's devil work, it's devilment involved. Because the universe is simple, it's not complex. It's not as complex as we think it is. It's literally a delicate balances of positive and negatives. It's not very complex. You know, it's simply complex, but once you strip away God from being the substrate in which everything exists on, the substrate behind everything and all existence, once you take that concept and then turn it into a man, whoever controls the image of that man controls you. You see what I'm saying? So it's like some of these teachings, the book was never made for the layman. It was never made for a layman. That's a sorcerer's book. It's a book full of spells. And it was never really made for you, but once they got it, they understood what it was and they chopped it up, hacked and slashed it. So it didn't have all of that esoteric metaphysical stuff in there. And they just left you with ritual and dietary laws and things like that, stuff to control your energies. How money, commerce, exchange between each. What the hell do a God give a damn about 10% of any damn thing? That's man talking. What if you were the Most High God? What is truth? What is truth to the Most High God when God explores all possibilities, all dimensions? That means somewhere in this dimension, in this reality, that's just true. Somewhere in reality, it's actually true. So there's nothing that's actually right or wrong, that's evil or good or anything of that nature. It's just all about perspectives. And just because you see something or you perceive something don't mean that that's what that thing is. You see what I'm saying? So like we had this discussion the other day. You got perspectives. The perspectives are subjective according to whatever pressures you've been up under. But the truth is what's being projected. That's the truth. That's why I'm like we can all say, hey, the sun orange, the sun yellow, the sun white, the sun is that and the other. The only real truth is the sun. All the other, the perspectives of it is completely subjective. So I hope that help with understanding